Advice for Parents from Saint Porfyrios from orthodoxpath.org. Today we put before you the words of one of the most inspiring elders, now a saint, of our times. The late elder Porfyrios was a monk from Mount Athos who, for health reasons, had to leave Mount Athos and ended up living in the heart of Athens for most of his life. In 1926, and at the age of 20, he was ordained a priest by the Archbishop of Sinai, Porfyrios III, who gave him the name Porfyrios. At the age of 22, he became a confessor and spiritual father. Due to his extreme humility and obedience, he received early the gift of spiritual discernment, a type of clairvoyance. Below, we provide his invaluable and insightful advice to parents on parenting issues. Quote, "What saves and makes for good children is the life of the parents in the home. The parents need to devote themselves to the love of God. They need to become saints in their relation to their children through their mildness, patience, and love. They need to make a new start every day with a fresh outlook, renewed enthusiasm and love for their children. And the joy that will come to them, the holiness that will visit them, will shower grace on their children. Generally, the parents are to blame for the bad behavior of the children, and their behavior is not improved by reprimands, disciplining, or strictness. If the parents do not pursue a life of holiness, and if they don't engage in spiritual struggle, they make great mistakes and transmit the faults they have within them. If the parents do not live a holy life and do not display love towards each other, the devil torments the parents with the reactions of the children. Love, harmony, and understanding between the parents are what is required for the children. This provides a great sense of security and certainty. The behavior of the children is directly related to the state of the parents. When the children are hurt by the bad behavior of the parents towards each other, they lose the strength and desire to progress in their lives. Their lives are constructed shoddily, and the edifice of their soul is in constant danger of collapsing. Let me give you 2 examples. 2 sisters came to see me. One of them had gone through some very distressing experiences, and they asked what was the cause of these. I answered them, "It's because of your home. It stems from your parents." And as I looked at the girl, I said, "These are things you've inherited from your mother." "But," she said, "my parents are such perfect people. They're Christians, they go to confession, they receive Holy Communion, and we had a religious upbringing. Unless it is religion that is to blame." I said to them, "I don't believe a word of all that you're telling me. I see one tiling only, and that is that your parents don't live with the joy of Christ." On hearing this, the other girl said, "Listen, Maria, the father's quite right. Our parents go to confession and receive Holy Communion, but did we ever have any peace at home? Our father was constantly complaining about our mother, and every day either the one refused to sit at the table or the other refused to go out somewhere together. So, you see, what the father is saying is true." "What's your father's name?" I asked her. She told me. "What's your mother's name?" She told me. "Well," I said, "the feelings you've got inside you towards your mother are not at all good. You see, the moment she told me her father's name, I knew his soul. And the moment she told me her mother's name, I saw her mother and I saw the way her daughter looked at her." Another day, a mother came to visit me with one of her daughters. She was very distressed and broke down in tears. "What's the matter?" I asked. "I'm in total despair over my older daughter. She threw her husband out of the house and deceived us all with a pack of lies." "What kind of lies?" I inquired. "She threw her husband out the house ages ago and didn't tell us anything. We would ask on the phone, 'How's Stelios doing?' And she would reply, 'Oh, he's fine. He's just gone out to buy a newspaper.' Each time, she would think up some new excuse so that we wouldn't suspect anything. And this went on for 2 whole years. A few days ago, we learned the truth from Stelios himself when we bumped into him by chance. So I said to her, 'The fault's your own. It's you that's to blame, you and your husband, but you most of all.'" "What do you mean?" she said indignantly. I loved my children to the point that I was never out of the kitchen. I had no life of my own at all. I took them to church, and I was always telling them the right thing to do. How can you say that I'm to blame? I turned to her other daughter who was with her and asked, "What do you think about the matter?" "The father's right, Mom. We never ever enjoyed a single day when you weren't quarreling with Dad." "Do you see then how I'm right? It is you that are to blame. You traumatized the children. They are not to blame, but they are suffering the consequences." This is from Wounded by Love, the life and the wisdom of Elder Porfyrios.